But yeah, we can't really get to that city because there's just like the Mayans are in the way, and I don't want to fight two civs at the same time. Like, it's annoying. Like, we probably could handle it. I don't want to deal with it, is the bottom line. So I'm gonna build, like, buy one of these Comanche riders, like 34 strength, so like a rifleman, but they're on a horse, so they get 5 movement. Like, they're so strong, so strong. So this is definitely the point of the game. Like, if you're playing Shoshone, you should be attacking once you get riflemen and these Comanche riders unlocked. Uh, so like, get dynamite so you have artillery, get flight so you can build bombers, um, and then get rifling or whatever. I forget what tech it is that unlocks these. I want to say it's rifling because that feels like where it should be. If it's not, let me know down below. But get the Comanche riders, and like, no one can do anything to you. Like, you're untouchable pretty much. And look at this, we got another hussar or whatever from our city-state friends. That's fine. Got a rifleman. We can attack these guys. Just move the units over. Try to take their capital. Because getting a second capital would be cool, even though they've like mismanaged the hell out of it. Having 2 capitals is always powerful. Like, if we actually annex that city and manage it the way it should be, so build some more farms and like put it on food focus and whatever, it'll probably like get a ton of population really fast and be really good. So we'll probably still puppet it to begin with, just because that resistance, the little red fist, nothing gets built while they're in that, and it's like, normally it's 4 turns, I feel like, is what they give me on that. So for 4 turns they won't build anything, so it's kind of like, why are you giving yourself an extra 10 unhappiness for 4 turns? You just wait until that goes away, then you can annex the city, purchase the courthouse right away. It's only 400 gold, I want to say, and then like, it's fine. You aren't generating any extra unhappiness by having the city annexed. But you, like, that's how I metagame this, I suppose you could say. But yeah, if you know of a better way to do it, let me know down below. I'm always willing to learn. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I do pretty good in this game, you know, from my own perspective, I guess. But turn 230, we have 610 science per turn, so that's a lot better. Like, her science is a lot better. I'm a lot happier with that figure. Um, I know, like, people that go hardcore science probably have over 1,000 science per turn by now, but I'm not really going for a science victory. I'm going for a tourism victory, so it's a little bit different. Like, your build order is different. You don't rush getting all the techs to get like universities and public schools and whatever really fast. You also want to get all the cultural buildings and unlock your ideology and things like that first, so you can build the wonders and things that go along with it. So I mean, we're not playing for science, we're playing for tourism. That's what we're playing for right now. Like, that's how I decide to go. And that's why our science isn't as high. Like, our tourism isn't that great yet, but we just got broadcast towers, or we probably got those when we unlocked Eiffel Tower, but we haven't built any yet. So once we start building some broadcast towers, like, our tourism's going to shoot up. And just by having a really high tourism, if it's better than the culture output of the other civilizations in the game, which I'm guessing it's going to be, you'll start accruing points or whatever over time. So the sooner you get to that point, the better. And then the more tourism you have, the faster it goes, because basically the way it works is, let's say you get 38 tourism per turn, like we are right now. In order to be influential with the city, you have to generate enough tourism that you have more tourism in that city than they have culture produced for their entire civilization. So if you're doing 38 a turn and their culture output is 60 a turn, you're never going to overtake them, because they're always producing more culture than you are tourism. But if their culture output's only like 30, for example, you're making 8 more tourism than they are culture every single turn. So over time, you'll overtake what they have in culture, and you'll become influential. So it's important to get a really high tourism number really fast, if that's the victory type you're going for, because you need to be able to not only generate more tourism than they are culture, but you also need to generate tourism for that civilization in the amount of culture that they've generated. Like, we've probably generated 15,000 culture, I would say, overall. Just as a guess, it might be more than that, might be less, but that would mean if someone was trying to be influential with us, they not only have to have more than 125 tourism per turn just to like start overtaking us, they also would have to go through 10, 15,000 culture before they're there. So if they're only like 1 point ahead of us, for example, that's 1,000 turns to win. Never gonna happen. So you need to like generate a ton, like 100, 200 more than their culture is kind of what you shoot for. He wants peace. I'm taking your capital first, bro. Then we can talk about peace. Maybe. I might just wipe you off the map because you're annoying. I mean, you plundered my trade route. Like, why would you do that? That's not nice. Okay, whatever. It's fine. But, not bad. We'll get plastics. That's a good tech because it gives you military, gives you the next like science building, and it gives you a culture building via the Cristo Rendor as a wonder. So we're, like that's I like the plastics tech. I feel like it's a pretty balanced technology, all things considered, which makes sense at this point in the game. Like you know kind of how you're gonna win, either military, science, or culture, tourism, whatever. So this tech gives you something to help you with all three of those ways of winning the game. So for us, the Cristo Rendor is going to be really helpful because that is a culture producing building, and when you produce more culture, you can get more policies and aesthetics or order or whatever, which helps your tourism. So it's good. Like, you want to be generating a lot of culture. At least I do when I play, because it also matters, like, no one else has an ideology, or well, maybe someone else just picked an ideology, whatever, but they picked order, so it doesn't matter. But let's say that we weren't the highest culture generating person in the game. Like, we obviously are, but if we weren't, the way that this would work is whatever ideology they pick, that's the ideology that you have to have, otherwise your people are going to be unhappy and like have unrest, and it generates unhappiness for having a different ideology. So I always try to have a really high culture just because I don't want to deal with a -50 unhappiness because we're using a different ideology. Like, I think that's stupid, but what can you do? Sometimes it's unavoidable. Some civs are really good at generating culture. Like, that's why I was worried about Brazil towards the start, because they are definitely a culture civ. They got knocked down to one city, so don't have to worry about them. Ethiopia also can be a really strong cultural civ. They don't seem to be in this game. I don't know what happened. Like, they must have been screwed over with their start or something and like just didn't get their buildings out or whatever, but got to do all this. Oh, international games. We're going to do that first because these benefit culture and tourism, and you have to be first place for you to get those benefits. So I am going to put all my cities on it, I think. So I guess I can just cancel these for now. Hopefully I don't we'll finish New Swanstein or whatever that wonder is in the capital first. But any of these regular buildings, like, yeah, I probably am wasting 3 or 4 turns of production, but you know what? It's okay. We're going for the international games because we want that cultural boost. It'll give us way more policies way faster. But yeah, so kind of just plugging right along. We get to pick something this time. World ideology order. This also helps. Gives you an extra vote, A, and then B, since no one's really picked their ideology yet, they don't have a stake one way or the other. But when they get there, if you have a world ideology pick, that's what they're going to go for, because then they get an extra delegate and they don't have to worry about the unrest or whatever as well, I believe is the other benefit of being the world ideology. So we're going to see if we can muster the votes to seal the deal on world ideology order, and hopefully we can. I think we can. Like, we have a fair amount of city-states that are our allies already. We have enough gold. We might be able to get 1 more, 2 more, depends. I mean, we're still at war, but like, our units are so far advanced, it doesn't even matter. Like, they take no damage when attacking. Like, they take damage, but they don't, like, the Netherlands doesn't have enough military units for it to be a problem, so I'm not even worried about it. But that's kind of all we've got time for today. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you the next time.